Knives Out. I'm reviewing this film for a couple reasons. First of all, I did review this movie when it came out, and my review for this film was not very good. I don't stand by that review anymore. Um, this is an excellent movie, and I made it seem like the movie was just okay, and the mystery and the plot wasn't well put together. That is not true at all. This movie is fantastic, and we'll talk about why in a minute. But yeah, I don't stand it by that review. Also, we have Knives Out 2, Glass Onion, coming out on Netflix tomorrow at the time of recording this video. Though, honestly, because I'm working, I probably won't get to watch it and talk about it till Saturday. And, it's just going to be a busy weekend. So, because it is Christmas weekend at the time of recording this video. So, there you go. Yeah, let's talk about Knives Out, though. This is an awesome movie. It's Rian Johnson is an awesome director. The thing is, what's really interesting about Rian Johnson is he's a super controversial director because he made a Star Wars movie that people don't like. Even though 90% of his other movies are loved by the people who watch them. Knives Out is one of the few original films in the past decade that uh, not only was successful being an original IP, an original idea, story, and characters, and that had an amazing cast. Some of these movies now. Look at Amsterdam. Amsterdam has a cast that's loaded like this one. Regional movie fails, and I'm not saying all those movies are necessarily good or bad or whatever. I'm not saying anything about those movies. I'm mostly just talking about how we do not see original filmmaking succeed. And Knives Out 2 did incredibly well on its theatrical run. Sadly, it wasn't playing anywhere near me, so I couldn't go. But that movie, you know, the sequel did well in theaters. And Netflix may be considering more bigger theatrical releases because of these types of things. And that would be awesome. These movies are a big deal. And that's interesting to me because that's how great of a director Rian Johnson is, that he can make someone want to go see an original, fresh idea. This movie is incredibly funny. The dialogue is really clever and witty. And so it is a little predictable of what certain characters' motives and what their things are. But I don't think that's the point of the movie. And I think that's what I missed when I watched this movie the first time. The point of the movie is just to be it's just the thrill ride of how the trick is done, how everything's set in place. What are these twists and turns? So it's not really about specifically the murder, who's the villain, who's this, whatever. It's not about any of that. It's about how that's all set up and put together, and it's ingeniously done. It's a movie that where the trick is so laid out and so well put together that you want to watch it multiple times. But also, it's a super fun movie to watch multiple times because it has this amazing cast where every single one of the members of the cast are incredible, and the dialogue is witty, the humor is funny, the cinematography is gorgeous, and it's just a super well paced, incredibly well put together and crafted film. From beginning to end, this movie is engaging. It's well thought out. It's well written. Has an incredible cast that just play all this convincing dialogue so well. And the family's also relatable, and also and all their shittiness in a lot of ways. It's just a really really awesome movie, and I think that's the important thing to understand about this movie is just that it is this really interesting, well put together film. It has a lot to say about the director of this film. You can tell that at certain points in this movie that there was very much a mouthpiece for how he was feeling after The Last Jedi and some things like that. And yeah, there's just some really smart, interesting dialogue and well put together stuff, making an incredible thrill ride of a movie that I can watch infinite amount of times. And if you've never seen Knives Out, 100% do so before the sequel comes out. It is an awesome movie and a story.